around, everybody. This was an experiment. Don't judge. And as people go look and go, oh my god, I could just bear with me. We're going to test out. I took off my muffler. I wanted to see how loud it would sound just with an exhaust tip. I need to get something better. That's just there temporarily. It actually made it like a decent amount louder. It sounds good so far. So we're going to go out for a ride. We're going to see how it rides and how it feels and how it sounds going down the road. Right here it sounds pretty good. It's not as loud as the decap pipe would be, but it actually sounds better than it did stock. You're getting more of that CP4 crossplane crank growl. So we'll go and see how it feels. I can't imagine it would change fueling at all, just because there was no restriction in the stock muffler. It was a wide open baffle. It was just a little bit longer. So this is just slightly shorter. Let's get out and get on it a little bit. I gotta run up to the pool store real quick before it rains or they close. Did make it louder. Now it's still got the cat and everything. So you say, oh, you remove the muffler, you're running open headers, and a lot of times that sounds like ass. And you would be right normally. This is not that. This is running, you know, the muffler was on, which was just a straight through baffle, no restriction whatsoever, 3-inch hole. So this just added a little bit of noise, a little bit louder, and a little bit of rasp. What do we got? A guy holding a Trump sign? All right. I don't know what purpose that will possibly serve, but okay. Yeah, it will be interesting to see this next political round if Trump being arrested for hush money. Here's the thing with that. He didn't use campaign funds to do it. So unlike John Edwards, who did pay off somebody, and he did use campaign funds, which is a violation of federal election laws, and John Edwards' charges were dropped. They didn't go through with it. He was not. One of them was dropped, and the others were hung juries, or whatever the equivalent of. But he was not convicted of anything, even though he actually did break federal election laws. Now here they're saying, well, it's some state thing or whatever. People pay people off all the time. Sometimes they settle out of court. You remember Paula Jones and Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton on trial for sexual harassment of a subordinate. Committed perjury, lied about Monica Lewinsky because the dumbass was having another affair with a subordinate while he was on trial for doing that with a former subordinate, Paula Jones. So this guy's on trial for one crime, and he's doing the same thing at the same time and got caught. And he lied about it under oath in a federal court, which is a felony. And he got off, and he ended up settling out of court and just paying Jones off $875,000 to make her go away. It wasn't worth the headache, wasn't worth the legal trouble, wasn't worth the bad press. So here, sign an NDA, sign a non-disclosure agreement that you will drop this and never, won't sell it to a book or anything else. You're going to let this drop, and you're going to hush. You're going to go away. Here's a check. This happens between celebrities and politicians all the time. All the time. And it's not illegal. Stormy Daniels said she banged him and blah blah blah, and he said she didn't, but she was going to the tabloids with it, and he's like, you know what, here's $130,000, go away. And she says, okay. It's not illegal. So I'm really not sure why this DA has such a hard-on. Like, this case is probably not going to go anywhere, whether you like Trump or not. And basically the people that like Trump are probably taking my side and saying, well, it's not illegal and this and that. And of course the people that hate Trump, they will do anything to get him, even if it's something that when their side has done it. And we could go into multiple occasions where Democrats paid someone hush money or settled something, some charges of sexual allegations or whatever, settled it out of court, and none of them got in trouble. None of them were arrested. But because Trump did it, well, that's the crime. It's the mastermind. It's the crime of the century, It's right up there with, I guess, the Holocaust. Paying a whore to shut up. So I guess that's that guy's way of protesting. I gotta say, while this exhaust doesn't look the best, that tip, I gotta find a better tip. That was just what I could find at the auto parts store. If I could find a nice one with a little bit of carbon fiber or something that, looks a little nicer, I will. I just had that one temporarily riveted in place. It definitely sounds good. Oh, what the hell is this happy horse shit? Ugh. I just want to go to the pool place. Why is the interstate always backed up, man? Maybe I'm just going to go for a little quick loop, and maybe we're not going to get to the pool place in time. Ah, it's really annoying, man. I love this area. It's a nice area. I love this area to move down. There's another goddamn distribution center going in over there. But this was like a nice, quiet little town of Flowery Branch. It's a great little place. And then Amazon and everybody moved out here. And it's not like, oh, it's homes and things like that. Yeah, they're building some homes here. It's all freaking industrial complexes and distribution centers and warehouses. I know it's good for tax revenue, but it makes living here suck. Like, talking to TJ, who's one of the city councilmen, a really nice guy, very cool, very smart guy too. He's talking about, how he feels on it, and everybody's like, oh, I don't want these places moving in. And he did bring up a good point, like, if some farmer's been out here and owned this land forever and he's got 200 acres and he wants to sell it for $10 million to some developer, and that's what he wants to do with his land. He's got someone who wants to buy it, he wants to sell it and cash out and move to Florida and retire and live the good life. It's like, we don't have a right to tell him, no, you can't do that. But at the same time, it's like, there is a quality of life thing. It's like, yeah, it's good for tax dollars. You could do things with the taxes, but half of what you're going to end up doing, I think, is fixing all the roads and fixing all the problems that the businesses bringing in the tax dollars are causing to begin with. So I'm not sure it really helps, but he would know better than I. It's definitely louder, man. It's making me consider just saying screw it and getting the damn DCAT and just having Chris Moore reflash it. The reflash is only 115 bucks, and that'll be an optimized map for that setup, and I'll probably pick up a few more horsepower. It's like, I don't need it, and I don't really need the new noise. I just have a hard time not fiddling with things. I may just go home and put the damn stock muffler back on. It does sound a little bit better. We got a wide body Charger. It's a 392. Yeah, I don't think it's a Hellcat. It is a freaking nice looking car though. I kind of regret not getting one of those. I think that's, I know the Mustang will run circles around it handling wise. The Mustang's like 600 or 700 pounds lighter. But that is a better looking car than the Mustang, I think. That one especially looked really good. It's got a nicer, the interior's dated, but it is more upscale. It's a nicer interior than mine. And it's a four-door with a bigger trunk. It's a much more comfortable car to drive. My car makes 460 horsepower, that's 485 and a lot more torque, but the Mustang's lighter. So in a straight line, the Mustang usually just ekes out a win. But I think it's a better overall everyday car. Charger's probably the car I should have got. I thought about upgrading my Mustang to one, but to get one of those set up the way I want, you're talking like mid 60s plus tax and fee. You're talking almost 70 grand out the door for a Dodge. It's not even the Hellcat. No. I'm thinking that's not really worth it anymore. The price has shot up because those are all being discontinued after this year. Sounds a little better. Question is, does it sound better enough to leave it like that, you know, to have it look like that, or do I just put on the stock muffler and just ride this stupid thing and not worry about it? My problem is I say one thing, I come in with plans, I'm gonna do this and that and that's it, and the problem is I can't not fiddle with things. So it's like I did the frame sliders, I did the engine covers, I did got my camera set up, upgraded the brake pads, got my bar end mirror, got my tail tidy, got my ECU flash, but I find myself having to fiddle with stuff. It is in my nature. So if I got to get the Leo Vinci mid pipe, that'll make this, I mean, really loud and aggressive. I wouldn't have that tip on it, I would have the stock muffler. It'll sound like my R1 did, which sounded awesome. That'd be about $400-ish. I gotta get the mid pipe for like $260. And then the ECU flash. I may put the stock muffler back on for now, and maybe when I get home I'm just going to order the damn mid-pipe. And then I'll throw it in a backpack or something and ride it up to Chris Moore and install it on the bike there. And flash the ECU. Throw it on the dyno, see what it does. So maybe that'll cost a few extra bucks, but not that much. Or do I just leave it alone and stop dicking with it? That is the question. Getting a little more popping and crackling. I can hear that valve opening and closing a little bit more. It definitely made it louder. I just don't know if it's a good loud. I don't know. I may go home and just throw the damn muffler stock one on. I don't know why I am this way. but I am. So anyway, I just want to do a quick ride with that, see how it sounded, listen to the video, and tell me what you guys think.